So last week we reported about the left considering a tax on unrealized capital gains. It's magic, it's insane. But it's a very realistically, it's an action that could be extremely dangerous. So let's find out more with Stephen Moore. He is the Economic Revival Task Force Chair at FREEDOMWORKS. You know that he also advised former President Trump, and he joins us now. Stephen, always so good to see you. You were one of the first people I thought of when I was reading the story and when it was first announced and Janet Yellen and everybody else were defending it, going after unrealized gain. This is insanity. I mean, it really is a grab, I don't know how else to describe it, but a Marxist grab of wealth, of income. And I don't know how something like this is sustainable. I mean, do you get a check if something, do you think the government's going to give you a check if you pay out on an unrealized gain for a stock and then the price differs and you end up losing? I really don't think that you're going to get a check from the government for that. I've got to get your reaction. You're the first person, Stephen, I thought of.
Well, look, this is unworkable. And it's a really bad idea because it's a tax on people who invest and save in the American economy. So it would have extraordinarily high negative effects. And by the way, it would be a tax. It's still unclear how they would do it, by the way. Will it be a tax on wealth? Will it be a tax on unrealized capital gains one time, or do you have to pay the tax over and over again? What do you do if you've got a Picasso painting? I know you've got a Picasso in your house there, and if is the IRS going to come in and say, that Picasso, that's now worth another $1 million. You're going to have to pay us a tax on that gain. It's crazy what can happen as a consequence of this. And it is unprecedented in American history. I think we're going to defeat it. I think we're going to be able to stomp this out. Most Americans believe, the vast majority of Americans believe, that if you're going to tax something like a capital gain, it should be taxed when you realize the gain, when you get the cash, not if you hold on to the asset because you don't even know what it's worth.
No, that's a great point, because you would have to, ultimately, you would be forced into selling your things that you own, your assets, in order to even be able to pay the realization on it. And you make a really good point on that. And you actually kind of scared me a little bit, because I hadn't even thought of how many times do you have to pay this? I mean, if you have something that goes up and down in value, I mean, how many times are you going to have to actually realize this? The thing that gets me in looking at the math about this, Stephen, is that this doesn't even come anywhere close to paying for everything that they're proposing in the economic package or with reconciliation. It's not getting anywhere close to this is the equivalent of like just shaking money out of the cushions, the couch cushions.
It really is, and they're so desperate to find revenues because so many of their tax plans have been shot down as unworkable or just terrible for the economy. And I like your metaphor of shaking, looking for quarters in the couch. They're looking anywhere they can find revenues. But here's another thing about this so-called capital gains realization or appreciation tax. What if you have a stock portfolio, let's say worth $250,000? Let's say you lose money. Let's say it goes down in $200,000, to $200,000. Do you get actually a rebate then from the IRS?
Right.
On the capital loss?
Question.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, you can't just tax people if it goes up, but if you're going to do that, then you have to give them the money back if it goes down, right? I mean, that's the fair thing to do.
That actually could get really interesting now that you mentioned that. Then we could charge the government. Are they sure that they really thought this out? I mean, did they?
I don't think they thought this through.
Because I love that proposal.
Yeah, but here's where we are right now, because I've been following this debate, as you know, day by day. We're running this big coalition called Save Our Country, Kill the Bill. And they're nowhere right now. They don't have anywhere near 51 votes in the Senate, and they have nowhere near 218 votes in the House. You saw what Joe Manchin did yesterday, where he just blew up the whole thing and said, this is crazy. I'm going to sue the guy for plagiarism. He's saying now what I said on your show, 2 weeks ago, that it's unworkable, that it's not, that we don't know what the money is. We don't know how they are using phony accounting. It's going to lead to inflation. Isn't that exactly what Joe Manchin said yesterday? I said it 2 weeks ago on this show.
You did.
And Manchin is right.
Yeah, exactly. I think he owes you a hat tip on that, Stephen, because that's exactly what you said, and it's true. I mean, now that the more that we find out about what exactly, I mean, we're dealing with another. You got to pass it to find out what's in it. The more that we're realizing this is like not even Common Core math. I'm not even quite sure where they're getting some of these estimates from.